Okay, hello, everyone. Happy February. So, right, it's Leap Day here. This is why I did this. So we're in Leap Day. You are not, most of you, but we are kind of spanning this liminal space. I frankly don't remember the last one at all. Someone brought up the significance of the years of Leap Day. So I guess whenever the last one was, you can look that up. My brain isn't working yet around those numbers, but so we'll report back and let you know how Leap Day goes on this side of the world. And these open studios are a chance for us to circle up to, you're always welcome to bring whatever it is you are currently working on, creating. Some of you, I've had some, Anna, 2020 was the last one. Okay, thank you. Asked about getting specific instruction with any of the courses. So this would be a chance to bring a painting if you want any ideas, prompts. That's more what we would offer, ideas on next steps, ways to take your painting into a place that will make you happy, because that is the goal as an artist, right? Creating things that, well, I guess they don't have to just make you happy, but we like to feel pleased at the end, correct? And then also it's an opportunity to create some space and offer in some new experiences. So today I've been in Araya, who's here, is actually right next to me. Sorry, I'm spoiling the surprise, but literally right before I clicked the Zoom, I was like, okay, Spirit, what are we exploring today? And I got the theme of presence, which is always a good one, especially in the midst of straddling all of these timelines, right? Dates and times, the power of staying present. And so we'll do a little kind of painting art yoga. So whatever you have with you, I just have a pen in my journal, and Araya will share some later, but she has a morning creative ritual that I identify as Streaming Doodles, which is something I do sometimes. It's different from the Soul Scribble, for those of you who know the Soul Scribble, which is in Rise Above and Vision Quest and the Creatively Fit coaching. But it's very much an activity to bring you present. And the power of presence has been coming up a lot. It's a sphere of wellness in 30 Days to Unstoppable. And it's an invaluable tool, especially on our journey of self-reclamation, on our journey as human beings on this planet right now. The power of staying present to manage the very multidimensional nature of our reality, right? Between all the modes of communication, all the ways we're receiving information, all the places we can go and things we can see, people we can connect to, managing things outside of the present moment is clearly necessary, but it is it wants to be balanced with presence. So this is going to become more and more important. And so maybe this is a friendly reminder for most of you, like, right, that's, which I feel like this is why these themes come to me, is to remind me, like, right, remember to connect to that energy of presence. I think we explore this in Rise Above in one of the painting yogas, because breath is such a powerful way to connect to the present moment. So you can do this and join us. I know some of you are in cars, and I love that. I'm so grateful for you joining. But let's just take a moment to bring ourselves into this present moment. And I'm noting and just kind of chuckling that our present moment for each of us is a different time, right? It has different numbers connected to it. We're all in different times and different days, and yet it's the same present moment. Whoa, that feels cool. Just feeling into that. we've been talking about the oneness and the dance between being individualized while also being connected to the oneness. And time is perhaps another way to illustrate that. So imagine just like in a yoga class, and actually, I need to do some yoga. I want to do some yoga. My body wants to. So take a moment. And maybe, stretch your arms up. I'm remembering Christina's sundial ring. One of the coaches has this amazing, huge ring that's like a sundial. This feels kind of like a sundial right now. In our bodies, so embodiment, right, is a powerful tool for bringing ourselves present. When we're not present, right, you can feel kind of outside your body. And then connect to your breath. And maybe just get curious as you allow your awareness to just settle into the present moment. What wants to be released or let go of? Anything that's happened already today, this morning? Anything coming up? What has been taking energy, kind of like siphoning energy out of you? Maybe something perceived in the future, or something that's happened in the past that's kind of been siphoning your energy. Maybe you choose now to kind of inhale and imagine you're gently, lovingly sealing that opening so that your container, your present moment container, is able to hold the present moment. Or maybe there's guidance for you around, as you go through your day, just living in the pattern that you live in, how can you create more presence to focus your attention, your energy, focus your presence? Okay. So this was a powerful insight, or I don't know, feeling I had the other day on the beach in New Zealand, that everything is energy. So feel that for a second. Maybe just think the words or speak the words to yourself. Everything is energy. And the breath that animates, that empowers your life force is energy. Maybe you can feel the heat of your body. I can feel the heat of my body against the air conditioning, the grateful air conditioning in the room. And the energy that we know is sparking all around us at a quantum level, the atoms and electrons spinning, cycling, orbiting, the resonance that has attracted particular energies into similar space to create organs and limbs and hair and eyes, couches, skyscrapers. So everything is energy. If we could put on certain kind of lenses, or be raised in that tribe in Peru or something, Ecuador, where they can see energy, perhaps you can see energy, it would be like we're swimming in this energetic soup. So tap into that expansiveness. And then what I was guided to kind of celebrate on the beach in New Zealand is that the energy that is me, that is you, is focused energy. focused energy. What does that communicate to you? I don't have the science behind that, those words. You are focused energy. But something happens between the air around us and our bodies. The energy has, again, formed into this perfect union to create this physical body, this vessel. And then we each have a unique perspective, a unique way of creating, of moving in the world, of looking at things. We have unique personalities, parts of which are our authentic personality, parts of which have been learned or conditioned. All good. I have lots of both. But you are focused energy. So maybe with each inhale, allow that truth that I believe to be a truth to settle. Perhaps if you're painting or drawing already, or at any point, you can choose to open your eyes and begin with this energy, this idea of you as focused energy. How would you symbolically begin to communicate this focused energy? Communicating focused energy. And again, just notice, witness yourself. You know, part of me went to like, well, Whitney, that's not very focused. You're just spiraled, and now you're creating all these spirals. Like, how is that focused? There's no right or wrong here. It's just, let's see where we go. So then the next kind of guidance that I received with this focused energy idea was kind of this inquiry, this loving, gentle inquiry. How do you want to use your focused energy, beloved? Like, oh. And it felt different. It feels different, this idea of moving, creating, being in the world in a way that it
Whitney, you're muted.
Huh. Okay. I focused my energy somehow to mute myself. I'm not showing my paper out of any kind of instruction, except to illustrate that really there's nothing right or wrong about this. And when I'm doing these streaming doodles, I like to continue to move the pen without stopping, right? Just let, it's almost like the intuitive part takes over. So this prompt, this focused energy, how many of you know what it feels like to feel scattered? Oh my goodness. Right? So we know that scattered energy very well. would imagine that most of us also know that feeling of presence. And I'm just noting that the feeling of being focused is a bit rarer in the art that is my life up until now. And now I'm understanding how is the call to be aware of and encourage, nurture, harness focused energy. How might that be connected to our journey of self-reclamation? Oof, that feels significant. Right? Is it possible? And I don't know. Is it possible to focus in authentic energy? I mean, I think it must be, or maybe not. Maybe not to the extent, right? When you think of like people completely embodying their authentic self, that could be kind of along the lines of that genius, those amazing performances, you know, where they're just so focused, which can happen, of course, on a very subtle, doesn't necessarily happen on the Olympic stage or, you know, things like that. So at this point, I'd love to open up. Does anyone have any musings around either this theme of focused energy or self-reclamation, or what is coming through in your precious mind or your canvas or journal? What are you getting, wise ones, around the difference, maybe even the contrast between focused and scattered energy, or authentic and inauthentic energy? And again, for any of you new into the studio space, we embrace and choose to create with the idea of non-duality, which means everything is a part of this earthly universal experience. There is no good or bad, right or wrong. It's the yin and yang, right? There's light in the dark and dark in the light. We don't know liberation until we've been stuck or felt trapped. We don't know light if we don't have an experience of the dark. No one person has all the answers, but exploring, getting curious about thoughts and ideas and energies and how we move in the world and who we are, that curiosity, that is creativity. And that is why I have such a passion for this practice, is because of what it nurtures. Creativity nurtures openness and receptivity. It nurtures and encourages us to look at things from different angles. It doesn't know any endings. It doesn't know limitations. It only knows possibilities. Yes, Anna.
Yes, yes, yes. I hear you. I hear you.
Thank you, Anna.
I hear you. Yeah. So yeah, it's really good to see you in action on with the pen and pencil, not some kind of like or a boat.
Right, not normal.
Yeah, this is really nice. So yeah, my work lately is all about finding ways of opening space, like using the creativity to pass through or polish, you could say, polish my views on the multidimensional ways that creating and doodling can activate your juices, you know, where you don't know where you're going to go, but you just follow a line. But the other thing I've been doing is working geometrically again. We're finding shapes. And so here's.
Yeah. Okay. Anna's doodles. Anna's been in the, hold on,
Doodles.
keep holding it up. Hold it up because I need to get you bigger so I can see. Yeah.
So anyway, in there in the middle, I got to do one of those, an infinity loop, just infinity loop, de loop, de loop.
Yes.
And when you do an infinity loop, it becomes like a 4-petal flower. You know, it's like, wow. And doing it inside a circle as like a focus, because you're talking about focused energy, and creativity is focused energy. And that's how you can work up the energy, you can ride the energy through certain practices. And like this doodling, like you're doing and stuff, is one of the great practices, I think.
I love
Fun.
that.
Very fun.
And that's one of the reasons sacred geometry. So Anna's been in the Unstoppable Dream group, and we work with Metatron's cube, and then of course it just leads to lots of things. But
oh, that leads to everything. Are you kidding? Some people say my other vehicle is a Metatron's cube, or it's a Merkaba. My other vehicle is a Merkaba. Yeah, which is the same thing. That shape.
right.
It's all about how you see the world, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if
What
you're an
I
artist, you see the world with shapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can also look. So I'm just getting. Let me whatever. So what I love about any of these practices and our paintings and everything is that afterwards it gives you an opportunity. So like I just looked down while Anna was talking, and I'm thinking of this dance between feeling focused and feeling scattered, because that's my reality. Like it goes back and forth. And so then all of a sudden I was like, okay, so all these little spirals are like moments of focus, right? And then it's like squirrel. And then you get another little moment of focus, and then move on to the next thing, or squirrel. And so then here they become a little more organized, and there's a little poof, a little firework, so maybe there's like this culmination of the focused energy, and then we move on, and then it's more like focus squirrel, and then this big, at this point in the doodle, this big, huge, like another big firework. So then I was getting like in that moment, like, okay, so there's focused energy. I am focused energy. I can harness that focused energy. I can harness it more and more, right? We speak to what we want to expand. And when I do, I'll have these moments of like, there will be the fruit of the focused energy. Right? That seems like what this is illustrating, like on the life's journey, you hold the intention to be focused, or to focus your energy in a particular direction, and that will result, and then you'll move on. Right? So that was, I don't know, that felt like kind of a fun aha. Can anyone else look at what you've drawn so far, or just hold it up and then we can everyone will see something, like, you all might see something totally different in mine. Okay, Charlene, I love the infinities. Are those like, here, I'm going to pin yours so I can see it better. Oh, so I see the circles. So the radiating, and then I see that like those two circles almost forming the infinity sign. Right? Like those moments. Yeah. What are you getting?
Yeah, not intentional, but I like the thought.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like as human beings down on this planet, right? Like we're wanting to have these moments of connection, right? Where we feel that like, oh, everything's going to be okay. And there is something else, and there is an order. And that's what that feels like to me, or like that underlying radiance that just is. And we're these little circles. Beautiful. Thank you. Lovely. Okay, who else? Stephanie, you're holding yours up. Let's see. Let me pin you so I can see. Whoa. I see wood. We were talking about the Chinese elements yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
It started out as being water, and then the more I did it, I felt like wood. Yeah.
When you think about trees, that was the other thing. When I was sitting on these rocks on this beach in New Zealand, and I'm like, you know, looking at these trees. There were the beautiful trees with those long reaching branches, you know, that just like go and go and go. And I'm like, that tree is focused on being a tree. Like that tree isn't trying to be anything else. And this rock is like rocking, being a rock. Like it is being a rock really, really good. It's focused. Right. So then it was like, okay, how can I be Whitney Freya? Like really, really, really Whitney Freya. How can Stephanie be like full on Stephanie? Which we talked about yesterday. You have been full on Stephanie for a while. Right. So then that's an interesting, I don't know, whatever. Nature is such a perfect example of focused energy. Like it just is, right? And so our nature, your nature, what is your nature? That's the journey of self-reclamation. Yes.
Yeah.
Who is
That was me.
Yay.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I just wanted to pop in on that note because
Yes.
I'm not drawing. I am playing with something new and I'm going to try and show you guys here. So,
Yay.
okay.
Whoa.
So
Try again. Yes.
I was working on my dragon, painting. Okay.
Mhm.
I can't tip it up because I've been adding in crystals. And when you
Ah.
talked about the spiral, I was actually working on,
Ooh.
there's a natural spiral in there and I was working on it. And adding crystals into it, into the wood and that. So I'll just share that.
Beautimous.
Wood dragon energy with all of you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Nice.
And that's so funny because for some reason, doesn't matter, a good reason, I thought of when I was thinking about today, the idea that a lot of us do, I do it just sometimes, where you put either crystals in the water that you're painting with, or you can put crystals under the canvas or on the canvas at the beginning, or, you know, just let your imagination go with that. But harnessing that energy into your creative practice can be really fun.
And to just share, because this just came to me, but I realized that I was born in a leap year. And I think I shared yesterday in Synergy, the leap years, when I went back through and look at the leap years, like 2020, you know, 2016, 2012, those are huge years of creativity explosion. But that I was born in 64, so I'm a wood dragon energy, but that will never ever come around for me again. And it's the first time it has. So kind of cool. Like take a look at what year were you born? Is it a leap year? And yeah, what kind of energy does leap years have for you? So anyways, thanks. Share that.
Here, I'll post the link in the chat. I was not born on a leap year, but but you can click that link and see 6872, not 70.
Any year that's divisible by 4. So
oh, Araya was born on a leap year. That's so fun. Yeah, okay, so I mentioned that earlier. I'm like, someone said something about leap years, and it was you,
Yeah.
darling.
I think it was.
Beautiful. Does anyone else want to share what you've been doodling or painting or thoughts, wise ones? So much wisdom in this Zoom room. No?
Whitney, I have a thought. I'm
Thank you,
driving, so
darling.
I'll be careful while I'm talking. But when
Please.
you were first talking about presence,
Mhm.
I'm reading a book called Essentialism right now, and it's
Mm.
all about kind of paring it down to what is the most important, because we get so busy, you know, doing all kinds of stuff that sometimes we never get to the important stuff because we're so busy doing the unimportant stuff.
Yep.
And so the focus of essentialism is to really really focus into that thing that is the most important thing for you, and then to make all your choices about how you spend your time based on whether it serves that thing or not.
Yes.
And so I was thinking when you were talking about presence, that that is really kind of a different way to think about presence for me, to be with the thing that's important instead of with all the, you know, laundry list and blah, blah stuff
Yeah.
that feels like it fills up my calendar because I'm not focused on the important thing.
Yes.
Hmm.
I love that, Missy. When
But
I was in Nashville, okay, I gotta stop doodling. When I was in Nashville and had 3 little kids and a wine bar or 2 and an art center and PTO fundraising and all the things, I would kind of chuckle at, and in Nashville, like a lot of friends, like their little girls had like bows for every outfit or little calling cards for the birthday parties, like little business cards, or, you know, just all the things. And I was like, wow, I am either at the grocery store or Home Depot. That's it. And then work and, you know, whatever the kids need. But that essentialism was essential because there was just no way I was going to get everything done if I did the unessential. And so it's interesting how sometimes maybe you all can look back at times in your life where you had that essentialness because you were so busy. I mean, you know, because there was so much going on that you literally, and then a lot of times when we get more time and space, which it might not feel that way, but I know I have way more time and space since I don't have 3 little kids and restaurants and bricks and mortar and all that, that it can be easier to siphon time, energy into non-essential. Or perhaps it's just a beautiful lens to look at things through. And can you look at that in your life from a non-dual perspective without criticizing yourself, without beating yourself up, right? Like, can you make it okay to still watch Netflix? It's okay.
right.
Right? You know?
Or go down the rabbit hole with social media or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what if it's all okay? I was talking to someone, I don't remember who, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, the theme of that radical acceptance, accepting what is. So when we're painting at the canvas, how many of you have a canvas? Again, there's no judgment, but how many of you have a canvas going right now? Like you have something you're painting. Okay, lovely. So as you're painting, have any of you experienced that, like, I thought I was getting good at this and now, right? So what if in that moment, that's exactly what you were meant to experience? Right? Like, however you think about it, you know, your guardian angel, spirit, Jesus, the goddess, Tara, whatever, like, you know, but your highest and greatest good, your highest, most self-realized aspect of you was like, okay, but we want you to look at this, or we want you to go through this kind of messy middle without criticizing yourself. We want you to get there so that then you're ready to receive this idea or this inspiration or this opportunity, right? So that's where you get curious. And then when those things happen in the art that is your life, it's like, huh, okay. I don't fucking like this, but what, how is this here to support me? How is this here to teach me? What am I meant to learn? Right?
And
it's,
I love that, Whitney, because oh, sorry. I was
No,
just
no,
going
no.
to say what it makes me think about is when we're doing meditation, we come back to the breath. So what if that essential thing is just the thing we come back to? Because we're not ever gonna, I mean, as long as we're still in bodies, we're probably not going to get there unless somebody here is the next coming of the Buddha or Jesus or somebody. You know, we're not ever going to get there. But to be able to have that thing that we come back to, like our breath when we're meditating, or our essential thing when we're doing other life stuff. Yeah, I love that.
Exactly.
Thanks.
And the whole point of being here is not to just stay perfectly in with the breath in your illustration, right? It's in the going out and coming back in that we learn, right? That's the whole point. I found a Freya channeling years ago, and I have to share this somewhere. Anyway, maybe I'll put it in a blog post and email it out. So one of her major points, it's this long, beautiful channeling, but one of her major points is she uses the illustration of a cocoon, right? So we know a cocoon is just so many silken threads, just coiled into that thick cocoon, right? And of course, we know the caterpillar goes in, turns to mush, and then forms into a butterfly. The butterfly, and this is just biology, this isn't Freya channeling. Anyway, the butterfly, when it's ready to emerge, starts flexing its wings to break out of the cocoon. And if you were going to try and help a butterfly out, you know, spare it some of that work, it would emerge from the cocoon that maybe you helped to crack open somehow, but it would never be able to fly because its wings wouldn't be strong enough. It builds its strength from emerging from the cocoon. Which actually is another perfect illustration of what we're talking about. It's in the challenging, struggling moments that we gain the wisdom, that we become, you know, we get our wings, and then we can rise above in, you know, the next situations because of what we have experienced. And then in the Freya channeling, she talks about how, you know, when you have, like, I know also we all have had moments of presence, moments of really embodying our truest selves. We've all had those moments. You have, I know you have. And then life, whatever, knocks us out of that center space, that heart space. And then you bring yourself back, you get yourself back. And it's in that movement that, like, another one of the threads is broken. You know, you could say on your journey of liberation or evolution or enlightenment or whatever, but it's in the going out and coming back. It's not in staying in the center 24/7. That's not why we're here. That's not the goal. The goal is to get to know that place, right? So some of us, I mean, I think all of us could say, like, okay, I'm still getting to know that place, right? So you get to know that place first, and then the in and out is the journey of the rising above, the expansion, how the journey, you know, from fear to love, whatever that is. So when we feel ourselves out of that center, can you in that moment, so see how this is just like at the canvas, can you love yourself unconditionally then? You know, can you speak supportive, encouraging, loving words to yourself as you're looking at the canvas, being like, yeah, this doesn't look like hers or hers or hers at all. It's too dark, it's too fat, it's too, right? Can you love yourself then? Can you love the painting then? And then that is what will ripple out beyond the canvas. That is an energy that then you have and you know that you can then bring in and use in other aspects of your life, right? Like, that's why we paint. Sorry if some of you joined because you wanted to like learn painting techniques, which I mean, you will, right? But it's not about that. It's not about creating a product. It's about getting to know yourself as a life artist, and life is art. And being able to create amidst the dark colors as well as the light colors, and the dark moments as well as the light moments. Because what we know is the shadowy underworld parts of our lives is actually where we scoop up our biggest treasure, our power. It's where we take back power. If you're in your power, you're not giving away or taking back your power, right? We actually want to go through those challenging moments, even though, you know, part of us doesn't, but the bigger part of us does, because that's where we get our wings, right, ladies? Love it. Okay, I know there are beautiful musings going on behind these beautiful smiles. Share for the group, for the collective.
On the note of wings, it's Christina Whitney. How are you?
Hello, darling.
When I was doing this, my wings that I'm working on now, there was a point where I'd done the background and then I mapped out how I wanted my wings to be, and I drew it all up, and I stood back and I'm like, I just don't like that at all. That's just not the expression of what I was trying to get out. And I'm like, it's ruined. Like, how am I going to come back from that, you know? And I just thought it's just paint, you know, I can just go over it. And even though I'd put white outlines down and stuff like that, I just went over it again. And then I created the wings, like these wings. I don't know if you can see them. These wings
Wow.
that I'm doing now. And like, I put a bit of texture in the top, and now I'm putting texture into the bottom, and it's meditative. Like, each piece that I'm putting down of texture is reminding me of the life that I've had, of the experiences that I've had, and that none of it can be wrong. None of it can be a mistake. And it's just a journey as we're going along. It's just been such an experience of letting go, I think. Yeah.
Exactly. That's beautiful. And that's such a perfect illustration, right? That having the courage and being able to be present enough, instead of like, oh, I've just spent so many hours on this painting, to paint over it and just to be honest with yourself, I don't like it. This isn't it. Yeah. Like, that is a beautiful, amazing experience to have.
Yeah, totally. Right? Because I could have pushed through and just done it because it was a task. And I'm like, no, my life's worth more than that. Yes. It's not about getting it done. It's about doing it here in my heart. Yeah.
And that's a tough one. It's super tough. So,
yeah.
Right. But I see so many people nodding, right? Yeah. That can be one of the biggest life challenges, you know, leaving a career, leaving a relationship, choosing something new that feels scary, but it feels so good. It feels so in alignment, you know. I mean, all those things that call us to surrender to that desire in the present moment, or that feeling of resonance or dissonance, and being able to follow that no matter what.
Yeah.
Super tricky.
Super.
And even as I say that, I'm like, oh, but I'm not calling that in. I mean, you know, like it's real.
Yeah.
But that's the juice.
Mm.
Thank you, Christina. Is anybody at a stage like that in their painting? Or does anyone have like, I had a couple of people, I don't know if it's, Charlene, yeah, ask like, is there live instruction? And so I'm like, okay, well, I can offer that in the monthly Zoom. So, I mean, if people want like, okay, what would you all do at this point? Or how do you get this? I mean, we can, between all of us, we can offer ideas as well. But yeah, Charlene.
I was just going to share, I was busy doing the Rise Above course and I'd done the witnessing yourself, and it's not something I've ever done before. And one of the layers I did was I wanted to write namaste across the entire canvas. So I took ages to work out what is the middle letter so that it would all fit on the canvas. And I took ages, and I finished painting it all and I stood back and I just burst out laughing. I was like, oh my God, I misspelled namaste. I've spelled namaste. And I was just such an idiot. But I loved that I laughed at myself rather than criticized myself, which is what I usually would have done. So yeah, it was very yeah, it was a good lesson.
Right. And that was probably the perfect experience for you to have in that moment, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy.
Probably for the rest of your life, there'll be that namaste, and, you know, the chuckle and the present moment will come into focus maybe. Thank you for sharing that. That's so fun. Yeah, I met a woman at so when I was just in New Zealand, I was at Angela Murray's wedding, who a lot of you know. Angela helps me run the Creatively Fit coaching training, and I just happened to be in New Zealand when she got married. Like, she told me when she was getting married, which I thought she was already married. I thought they were already married. But I told her, I'm like, Angela, I'm going to be in New Zealand at that time. Like, what are the chances? And that's the kind of synchronicity this group has. And anyway, I spoke to a woman there who so precious. Like, she wanted to go into psychology, but you know, certain limitations prevented her. So she went to the fallback of being an accountant. And she's like, I know I want to get into my creativity or get to know my creativity. And she goes, I know Angela has done this, but I've never looked into it. And so I recommended, Angela has a membership and all the things. And then I also recommended Rise Above. And I felt so good because this is the first time I feel like I have the course that's like, this is where you start. This is, you know, if you want to explore or get to know, choose if you want to develop further a personal painting practice, Rise Above is it. And I'm just so happy and grateful for all of you that are in there. And I just am excited for the ripple effects, because it is a beautiful starting point for anyone curious. Sorry, I'm quick with the admits. So anyway, yes, thank you, Charlene, for that input. So fun. Anyone else want to show and tell anything you're working on? Any questions, musings? Hi, Chantal. You're back from Costa Rica, I can tell.
Yes. Actually, I'm not prepared to share, but I can share something. I've been so passionate, so motivated to paint. I can only do that. I'm dreaming about it. I see image in my dreams. I said, oh, and then I said, I have to remember, I have to paint this. And then I find that what I paint lately, it's different. And I cannot, like, my wings are still not finished. I noticed that I need to take my time. Like, I do something, I need to rest. And, and then I said, okay, I'm ready. And when I'm ready, I can show it out and do it. But I just cannot go bang, bang, bang. It has to go. I do it, and then I have to keep it quiet, and then I can come back. And lately, I've been like painting, and it's like, when you have a good book and you cannot stop reading, like you walk, you read, you go to the toilet, you read, it's the same thing. It's just so passionate. And I'm doing these live, because but I stopped doing it every day, but I do it maybe 2 or 3 days. And I can see also the ripple effect of sharing something that is really a passion for you. They can feel my love about it. People contact me to know more, but I don't do it every day. I started every day, and I could see, like, by the number of views it was getting done. I think that people got enough. So I said, let's give them, like once, let's say twice a week. So that's what I did. but I will continue. So I stopped counting. I said I will try to post every week, at least twice a week. But yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, and what you said about the stillness and taking time and, you know, breaks and all that, it feels like things we've been talking about, and I've been thinking about on this travel and journeys and being kind of on this vacation mode slash, you know, you guys know I'm always sharing. And oh, look at that fun painting.
Yeah, so that's the wings to be.
Oh, I see. Yeah, beautiful.
And that's
Love
the
it.
elephant. Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
How can I see that?
Showering with light.
Yes, 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 yes. The elephant, yes.
Oh my
It's not
gosh.
easy, yes.
Oh, Chantel.
Yes.
Ah,
So changing style as well. That's notice. You know, I'm more comfortable with the medium, and I can notice that my style is changing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. And that's for any of you in like just starting to paint. What I have experienced over and over and over again is that I'm debating whether, so there's the desire to paint well, to get better at painting. And there's kind of two roads to go. And one of them is in this kind of personal liberation, letting go of any of the fear of not doing it right, of having to get other people to, which again, always speaking from personal experience, wanting the recognition, like, oh, that's so good, blah, blah, blah. And then the other route is to like study and learn the painting skills and techniques. But I've seen over and over again, without the like intentional learning skills and techniques, but more the intentional letting go and kind of surrendering to the intuitive process and shedding that fear of making a mistake and understanding there are no mistakes. And people find their own painting style and genius consistently on that route. And that's the route that I would want for myself and for any of you, right? Because inherently it feels like, and this doesn't have to be truth for you, but it feels like the other path of like learning the skill and technique is still kind of plugging into how other people do it or how other people will perceive it. And that isn't in alignment at all with this journey of self-reclamation, of wanting to live free, you know, to be completely embodied and self-expressed. And if your desire is to paint with a certain kind of technique, you know, or a certain level of whatever expression, you will get there. You will get there. And it's kind of one of those, like in the letting go, you will receive.
Yes, that's what I realize is that now that I'm more comfortable with the technique, I can easily more express what is inside me.
Yeah.
And it's still something that I discover what is inside me and what the painting is telling me. And when I look at it and I said, I really want that, what is out there. Yes, it's nice when it's pretty. I have to admit that I like it. You know, it's but it's finding the balance. But more comfortable you are with the tools, more I can let it go and express what is inside. So before it was more, I do what I can. It's like I can do more of my vision. It's yes.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also felt like the stillness, and I'm thinking myself, Colleen Talbot's a creatively fit coach who's here in Melbourne too. And yesterday, remember Stephanie and Rhea, she was talking about how she does everything fast. And I'm like, well, I do that too, right?
Yeah.
And there's this other beautiful thing that I think we've all experienced, that when you do slow down and get still, and I think bring in that energy of focus, there's some energy of focus, you know, focusing on kind of rejuvenating yourself or slowing down to kind of let go of the static, that then when you do, like Chantel, what you said, then all of a sudden it's like, now paint, and it just spills out from you. So there is actually a level of productivity that happens when you do honor the stillness, when you do slow down. you know, that then whatever needs to get done, probably the essentials, right, will happen with more ease and grace because you've taken the time to kind of release anything that's not essential. So that feels really good too, as far as telling your logical brain, like, we know we have lots to do today, but we are going to pause for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or we're going to slow down in this moment and trust we'll have everything we need. And then, you know, the time pockets or something appears. So
Because I think sometimes we get caught up with busy being busy.
Yeah.
And then stuff doesn't get done because there's no order. So I know that from my point of view, I get busy doing busy things, and then I have to slow down and spend that time being quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So many nuances. So many nuances. Love it. Does anyone else have anything you want to share or show? Yeah, Anna.
Mind muting?
Oh, wait, now you're muted.
Oh, how's that?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to share because I know that we get to these places in our work where we're questioning what's going on next on the piece, right? Every piece has a pause and a gaze. And lately I have learned to apply a new approach to my pauses that I just wanted to share. And I asked myself, what would the rainbow do right now? Where would the rainbow fall? And I use the rainbow as my jumping off point, and then I rainbow the hell out of the piece. I just run through the rainbow right through, and I've really been enjoying it. And so it made me realize that's a question you can ask yourself at times. Well, where would the rainbow fall inside here? Or, you know, how would it fit? And then that's like an entry point into a color choice or a warm, cold choice. You know, it's just another way of questioning and finding an answer. Because, you know, the rainbow has a specific order of color. So if you follow the order of the rainbow, you're already setting yourself up for something harmonic. You know, if you're a musician, that's how a musician would approach sounds or whatever. And so as a person who plays with color, we should understand the harmonics that are lying inside the color, and just by understanding the rainbow, you know, as simple as that. And so I just have been really enjoying kind of being in this rainbow frame of mind these days.
So beautiful. And then you think about what we're talking about with non-duality, and the rainbow is a result of the dark and the light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when there's the dark clouds and then the sun coming through.
It's refraction as well.
Yeah.
It's light refracting off of a surface that is sheer, like a mirror. Mirrors have their reflections. There's refractions. They all like are in the mix when we create art. I think, you know, sometimes you're in a moment you're going, well, how can I throw some kind of energy in here? Where would I throw the rainbow? Basically.
I love it. It's a whole new visual for rainbow warriors. We're like shooting rainbows out of our fingers.
Yeah. So here, that's how I started this piece. I decided to go with blue in the center and then see what would happen. And it was like a little game. It's like a little game you can play. It was fun.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if it's a Southern Hemisphere thing, but I've seen rainbows since I've been in New Zealand, and well, just New Zealand, I guess. Like when I was driving to the airport yesterday, I didn't even have time to do anything with it because I was, you know, focused on driving on the left side of the road and all the things. But the rainbow was just like the whole horizon was a rainbow. Is that just a Southern Hemisphere? Like, I don't know if it's an Antarctica influence thing, but it was just the whole horizon, and it was a thick rainbow, like a fat one. And
whoa, nice.
Pale, but
was
just
it double? Was it double colors? Was it double the set? Was it double set?
I was like, God. And I had one of those cars that, like, you know, drives for you a little bit. So like I was just you know, like this, and like it's the whole horizon, and then there were trees, and
Wow.
but yeah, it was very cool. And of course, I'm working with the rainbow this year, so I'm very excited to hear that. Thank you, Anna.
Me too. I'm doing 100 days of rainbows, so I'm like rainbow fixated also for that reason.
Beautiful. Okay, Missy, I want to give the stage to you, but I'm going to stop the recording. So if you watch the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I apologize if you missed this because of the time. I think what I'm going to have to do is hop on Zoom at the time I said for the first, and I'll send out an email and just do it. Just do, not try and repeat, just kind of do a, if you missed whatever. Anyway, so next month, stay tuned. And if you see someone who's saying like, oh, I didn't get an email, if those of you, anyone sees that, help them understand they need to go into their profile, change the notifications so they get the emails through Teachable. Because this was a perfect example. So easy for me to just send out an email through Teachable, and all the other things are more complicated. So thank you all for being here and for sharing your hearts, and hopefully our time together has inspired some new energy and new optimism or hope or possibility. And I appreciate your presence very much. Stop recording.